Carrie?
Yes? Oops. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll be quiet for 2 minutes. Okay.
Carrie? I'm not on screen anymore. I don't know why.
Here, hold on. Okay. Hello, Julie, was that you?
What?
Oh, someone was saying that they had an issue.
Not me.
Oh, it's me. Carrie, it's Carla. I'm on Petke. I'm
Okay.
not on for some reason.
So, I'm sorry, what is the issue?
I don't appear on the Zoom.
Okay. I just asked you to start your video, so we'll see if that works. There we go. I can see you now.
Oh.
There's so many people, you might be on the next page, maybe.
I see. Okay.
Thank you. I guess before we get started, if you want to turn on the, at least mic's microphone, yes. I got 7:30, if you'd like to.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the electronic presentation of the Appearance Commission meeting for October 14th, 2020. When you checked in for your building permits or did it electronically, however you got to this stage, you were given instructions as what we're going to be doing tonight. Residential cases have neighbors that are given notice of this meeting. Sometimes they appear to give their input. Other times they appear via email or other commentary. We have one of those such cases tonight, which we'll get to at some point. Obviously, you're being recorded. And be a little patient with us. Carrie does a great job trying to keep us all herded together in the corral. We'll proceed. When I call a case, you'll be sworn in individually, each of the participants, and we'll do that on a case-by-case basis. Also, when I call a case, I'll read into the record comments we get from the Community Development Department, who's reviewed your drawings, and they give us some input as to what the village's feedback is. We use that in our consideration as well. All right, so before I get into reading the other notice, does somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
And if so, unmute yourself.
Yeah, and unmute yourself, commissioners.
September 8th, I'm sorry, September.
Sounds right.
9th, I believe.
I make a
Yeah, it
motion
was the
that the
9th.
minutes of the meeting of September 9th be approved.
Anybody second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 All right, so passed. Okay, I have to read this into the record. Until further notice, meetings of the Appearance Commission will be held electronically with the majority of the members participating via remote access in order to comply with the State of Illinois Gubernatorial Disaster Proclamation. Members of the public who wish to comment as to an item on the published agenda must submit their statement or question in writing to Carrie Haberstick at appearance, well, poorly written. Her email is appearance@skokie.org, and all properly submitted statements or questions will be presented and read during the relevant portion of the meeting. Written comments may also be submitted by email to citizen@skokie.org, comma, by mail to the Village of Skokie, attention Nathan Kriska, Appearance Commission Liaison, at 5127 Oakton Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60077, or via the village's drop box no later than noon of the day of the meeting, located by the public entry to the Village Hall. The meeting may be viewed on Skokie Vision Cable's channels 17 on Comcast or 25 on RCN or the Village's website. Okay, with that said, I'm going to call our first case, case 2020-039A at 9320 Lincolnwood Drive for Jorge Lozano. It's a first floor addition.
Yes, I'm here.
Jorge, raise your right hand.
Do I need to, give me a second.
No, just tell me you're raising your
No?
right hand.
Oh, okay.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Carrie will put up the documents. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to read something else. This is the comments from the village's Community Development Department pertaining to this case. The staff has no objections with the design. However, the west elevation of the addition should have a gable trim design to complement the gable of the second floor above. New siding is to match existing siding. Technical items to be addressed include providing a continuous frost line foundation for the 3 new walls of the Four Season room, ensuring basement outside light and vent requirements are maintained, and the electric meter and overhead wires meet village code and ComEd regulations. Some of that stuff, Jorge, you'll be taking up with the building department.
Yes, that's correct, and we will.
Right. We're gonna look at the aesthetics, but you need to address some of those items, so just so you're aware.
Yeah, yes, and we will. We'll do whatever it takes to be code compliant.
Gotcha. So, let's go through this. It's just the first floor addition on the rear, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you're right. It is not shown correctly. There will be a soffit, and we will extend.
Sure.
Yeah, the gable. Yes, correct. We will provide that. It's just not shown correctly.
Yeah, understood. Okay, and so that siding is going to match. What is the siding material?
Well, yeah. So the siding is just going to be like hardy board siding.
And is that what's currently on the second floor? Of
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It'll match. Yeah, correct.
Sure.
It'll match.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, does anybody have any issue? Any commissioners? Any other discussion? All right, if not, will one of your commissioners make a motion to approve? Or a motion?
I move that a certificate of appropriateness granted in case number 2020-039A at 9320 Lincolnwood, as presented and as discussed by the homeowner during the meeting.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No opposed, so passed. Thank you very much, Jorge. You can jump off the meeting.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 2020-04A at 5319 Washington Street. It's a first and second floor addition. The comments are, staff has no objections with the design. However, a brick base should be provided on the west elevation. At least one neighbor has expressed concern over the design, and I'm going to read that. and there might be yet another one as well, but the one that I have that was issued in advance reads as following. In reference to the property at 5319 Washington Street, by looking over the proposal, I am totally against it. I have been living across the street for 35 years and think this would be a real eyesore and would not want to look at it every day. This block is mostly ranch houses, and the house would really look out of place. This would be more suited for a new development. And Matt, I don't know if you have any other comment.
Yeah, I received an email in the citizen comments email account, and the writer says that she also lives across the street, and the proposal does not fit the neighborhood, that most of the houses are ranch-style houses, and the proposed house is too large for the space and would look out of place on the block, and she does not support it being built.
Okay. Who's the petitioner here?
Artifact Builders.
Is that you in the top? All right. Okay.
Fessel.
All right, great. Can you both raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go to the drawings. Do we have neighbor photos, Carrie, that you can
Yes.
throw up too?
So this is the house right here. That's the aerial photograph.
5319 is it going to be torn down?
No, it's going to be added on to.
Okay.
And so this is the existing home, front, sides, back. And we'll zoom in here.
How are they going to do this new project without tearing it down? What are they building on top of the same foundation?
They're building off to the west and then up and out the back as well.
Well, essentially, you're gonna be taking it down, right, gentlemen? I can't hear you.
Down to the foundation.
Down to the foundation.
Right, okay, so you're tearing it down, you're gonna reuse the foundation, and you're gonna expand the foundation to one of the directions.
Exactly.
So this is the next door neighbor to the east.
Uh-huh,
One more. So this is down the street. And these are across the street?
No, that's also,
Same block.
Same
block.
block, so
Yeah,
it's
that's those
continuing,
odd
okay.
numbers.
Farther west.
This is across the street.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, I have to tell you that these people, although you're right to do it, they make a compelling case in that, again, my personal opinion, and the other commissioners should speak to this as well. Go back to the elevation of the new project, Carrie. Is that,
There's a 3D.
that this is a drastic change to the complexion of the neighborhood. Although there is a house on the other side of the street that I think is a split. I don't know if it's a two-story with a garage. I think it looks like it's a split. But I don't,
This one right here.
that one there, is that a split level, you think?
I think it's an addition above.
It's probably a ranch that they did an
Or an
addition
addition,
on.
yeah.
Okay. More of a spread ranch than the one it's more like that house there on the bottom right that they put an addition on, correct?
Yeah.
So, I don't know,
This is 1.5 stories. Roughly.
try to make a case for yourself here. I mean,
Okay, so my name is Amru Saeed. I'm lead designer on this project. In terms of being an eyesore, I mean, we have the right to build a second floor addition. Now, we're trying to maintain the characteristics of the block. So we still have low sloping roofs with large overhangs, which I believe is across the street from us. The ranch has the same style roofs. So we're trying to maintain that kind of appearance. I mean, I don't know if we're still in zoning, so we comply with the zoning in terms of size and our setbacks.
And then we also have actually, if you go around, just around the corner, there's a brand new house. I think it's about 5,000 square foot. It's a very nice house just around the corner. on the back of this, behind the street,
Let's do it. Oh, okay.
there's also a few new homes there, about almost the same style. We're just a little bit more modern. And we're just following all the building codes and requirements, whatever the building.
Tell us a little bit about the materials. What are those big panels? Is that all limestone or what is it?
No, that's cement,
Don't show me that
Cement.
picture.
cement board panel. Those called blocks. They're cement panels, but once they're installed and finished, they have a similar look like a block.
Is-
And then we also meeting the requirement for the brick. So this is actually a brick. It's a standard brick that village requires more than 50%. So our design do meet the requirement.
Okay. So what she has on the photo now, or you can see the screen, that's the base right there?
That's only for the buttresses in the front of the house.
Right.
Like this.
Yeah, those areas.
And that's also in stone, actually.
In the column.
Lighter parts.
Commissioners, do you guys have any comments?
I'm not really fond of the cinder block look, be honest.
Well, those-
No, I don't like the way it's incongruous to the neighborhood.
I think it could be designed to be more congruous and still keep the same footprint and size. I just think that, you're coming down with those big columns in the front, and all that stuff. I just think, go back to the one you just had, Karen.
This one?
Yeah, I mean, I know this is this is the rear.
Yes.
As I look at that rear, I look, well, why isn't the whole thing just brick? I know you're doing that, is that for just design, or is it for cost, or what?
For design.
Okay, but when we go to the
But if
front,
there's a concern for this to be changed to a brick, for the back, we can change it to a brick. That's not a problem.
again, the back, I think, is probably the least concern of ours and the neighbors. I think as I look at this, and then maybe it's just your rendering
Yeah,
isn't helping you a whole lot, but it just, so
you want the
go
elevation?
back to the other one. Yeah, all right, go back to the other one, Carrie, I'm sorry.
This one?
Yeah, I mean, this just looks very, I don't know. I mean, I could see where the neighbor is, this is a big drastic change to them. And don't get me wrong, I understand, we've always been very,
We're just trying something modern to the neighborhood.
Understand.
That's actually add more value to the neighborhood and actually bring more architectural to the neighborhood, actually.
understood. What's the overall
This is
height?
very common right now.
What's the
People are building these type of homes in very,
what is that, Carrie?
maybe in Barrington and Burridge and other areas, so we're trying to bring something very modern, something very, it's going on right now, so we're trying to bring that to this area.
What's he allowed there? Do you guys know? He's 26'7", and what's he allowed?
Nathan, can you answer that? Brian did look at the zoning worksheet and he didn't have a concern with
Okay,
what he
so
saw,
they're
so.
under the FAR considerably, I would assume, and. Tom, do you have any thoughts here, comments?
Mike, I actually like the design. I hear the comments of the neighbors. It is, it is a departure. And you will have the singular house on the street, looking very different than your neighbors. They might not like you for that. However, I do not find any fault in it. I kind of like it.
Okay.
I also like the design,
Okay.
Thank you.
so I don't have any objection. I like the design.
Mary Jane, I think you already kind of voiced your opinion. Julie, did you mention anything?
I'm just not really fond of the block. I don't mind the design. I just don't
Yeah.
love the block.
I
Look.
I just think the front is a little blocky.
The whole house, that part is blocky, but the block facade, I mean, where the material that's used there. I mean, there are houses that have these floating concrete panels that are on long, you know, and they're much bigger than that. This looks like, you know, cinder block, but larger.
Well, these are actually about 18 inches high and 6 feet long, but we are actually cutting them down to give nice block look instead putting those big,
Too big.
make it like a siding. Siding look is like very typical look. So we're actually trying to bring more black and nicer look to this.
I don't know if you could pull up the brochure again. I mean, it's a very elegant material.
Are you planning on adding new landscaping around the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course.
Yeah, because I think that would help soften, you know, the extreme lines of it.
Okay.
Yes, our grading plan and the landscaping plan will have brand new landscaping there.
Okay, all the way around the house, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Gentlemen, is that a true representation of the color, or is it more like this gray that's on the screen now? Which one?
Sorry.
Carrie, go back to that palette, please.
I would say the rendering, the first rendering is pretty close.
Actually, this one right there.
This color in the Excel picture is fairly close to what you've selected.
Yeah, so if you look at it, it says Tuscan, that's the color.
Right here.
So as you see, we try to keep more neutral colors versus
Tuscan right here.
the cooler grays that are pretty typical right now.
So it's more this tannish color versus
More
a,
tan than the rendering. Then
yeah, go back to.
Carrie,
his
you go
renders.
back to.
Carrie, you're getting really good at this. I guess that's pretty tan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This might be a little lighter in the rendering, but
Well, you know,
Is
again,
that cream? What is its cream color?
I think it's more tan.
It's
More
tan.
10, yeah.
It looks tan there.
Correct.
let me ask you
More
another
10 or
question.
8.
Let me ask you another question. You know, you got a long pilaster coming down right in front there on the right, which looks like it's a column, but it's really just is that also, is the one to the left? Okay, so that's a pilaster and the other one's a column, right? Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so the two sides
Or no,
actually
no, that-
support the roof.
No, that's
The
just
one
a downspout.
center
Okay.
just supports the canopy to give coverage over the front door.
Right, and that's in that long
So-
skinny material, right?
Yeah.
And
Correct.
Okay. Okay, and everything I see is as shown, so you're looking at doing that nice garage door and your front entry is going to have that wide front door with the side light next to it, correct?
Yes, correct.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is there any way you can like
Go ahead,
solve from
Shana.
yeah. You can continue like a band which is at the same elevation with the neighborhood houses,
It's hard to hear you, Arshana, you're gonna have to get into your
which would
microphone.
give a break, like it shows some kind of continuity with the neighborhood.
Well, the break line then would make it look like a second floor. The design we have tries to make it more balanced in terms of, you know, spatially what the different points. You have the garage, you have the main front entrance and the side. So it's broken up vertically versus horizontally.
I like it that way too.
Go back to just the front look at it, that one there. Is it would, and I'm just, look, I don't mind this house at all. I'm just trying to be sensitive to the neighbor's concern. I think this house would look fine, to be honest with you, okay? But I'm wondering if maybe above the garage door, does that help soften it if that were to all be brick, or is that kind of really in your design, that's what you wanna have? You know,
We were just going for like all the air strips of windows and doors, we put the panels. But if the concern is the garage, we can make that all brick. Because right now, if we put all brick, you're gonna have this kind of big forehead
yeah, I know.
lying kind of empty
I know.
over the door.
Okay,
I don't mind that.
okay. Let's look at all the other elevations, I'm sorry, so that's that one, okay, got it, next one. Got it,
So this is the garage here. And this is the place where staff suggested at least continuing a brick base, so there's a brick base around the.
yeah, I wouldn't
entire-
mind that, are you guys okay with running a brick base across that? See what where she's showing that?
Along here.
Architects?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, so you
Oh, the owner.
see how you've got the brick courses goes up to the underside of that first floor window? If you just.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, we can run.
We can do that.
That's doable, I know you gotta then put kind of a sill piece in there, right, to make that work,
Yeah.
right, but, okay. Okay, does somebody wanna
He's
make a
okay.
motion?
Yeah, we can do the brick on the side.
Okay,
But if everybody likes the garage, we'll keep the garage.
gotcha. Yeah, well, the garage is fine. Julie,
You want me to run it?
yep, don't forget the brick, course around the one elevation.
It's only on the east? Is that the east or west?
West elevation.
West,
Okay, so I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2020-040A at 5319 Washington, with one modification to the west elevation, that a course of brick be added to the base, extending across that elevation.
anybody second?
Second.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? So passed, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Have a
Appreciate
great
it.
night.
Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Sure, case
Thank you.
2020-041A at 8501 Monticello. It's a first floor addition. The staff comments are, staff has no objections with the addition, however, the roof plan should be revised, I think, to improve the aesthetics and ease of construction. The suggested roof plan is to have two rectangles by making the addition's rectangle perpendicular to the original home's rectangle and by extending the ridge line of the existing home to the addition, concept below. I don't have that
Oh,
concept to show you.
okay.
Technical items to be addressed include a pin consolidation, which is not under our purview, but something that has to get done. That was the
So this is
staff
the
comments and
concept.
the suggestion. So let's
Yeah.
take a look at it.
And I think we have two people here for,
Who's our petitioners?
okay, Carla, and then Syed here. There we go.
Where are they?
Oh,
Here, and here.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
We do.
All right. Let's take a look.
Oh, sorry,
No worries.
just trying to roll.
Come on, Carrie, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, this is. Okay, so this is the plat of survey,
Mhm.
street, and then alley, and so this is the existing home here. They're looking to put an addition here
Got it.
and possibly fill in, there's a porch,
Right. Yeah, I remember seeing that on the preview.
yeah. So this is the existing house here,
Yep,
neighbors. Trying to get it so it can be seen at home. So the addition, I believe, is
Yep.
here,
correct.
plus this here,
Uh-huh.
and then possibly filling in
Right, they
this
want to make
and
that
that.
interior space now with a corridor that leads to the addition, correct?
Yeah. And this is the proposed, or this is the existing house,
Uh-huh.
and this is the proposed elevation.
So, do you guys understand what they're talking about?
Yeah, I would like to address that on a couple of bases. The existing ceiling heights are 8 feet, and the proposed addition is basically one large kitchen family room, 29 by approximately 29.6. Now, we're clear spanning, so the design of the roof for the main addition is a hip truss system. The staff concept would say that, and that we would have to match the ceiling heights, and part of the proportion of the space, given that the main space is basically 29 by 24, is that we would like to have a
Sure.
11-foot ceiling.
Here,
So there were two reasons that we designed the roofs, so that they would float above each other.
mm-hmm,
One is during construction, we would not have to do any work on the existing roof. So that the proposed addition, this roof, the height from grade to the underside of eave is approximately 11 feet. It may actually go up a little bit higher.
let me just ask the commissioners a question. Does anybody have a problem with the way this looks? Or I should say, or does anybody have a problem with the proposed way? Because my suggestion would be that we look at this and say, okay, this is fine, and the other way's fine, and let building department and the petitioner work out the technical items of the whys and the whys nots of this roof line.
Sounds fine.
Does Tom, Arshana, Jay, anybody have an issue with that? I mean, I think as I'm looking at it, it looks fine to me, but.
I mean, we'd like to keep, match the roof pitches. So the existing and the new would both be hip roofs. It's just that the volume ceiling that we're looking for in the new addition requires us to bring these sidewalls up almost 2 feet higher than the existing.
Right, and as I look at this suggested, the drawing for the suggested plan isn't totally accurate either, because that ridge line would have to, on the existing house, would then have to be built and run into there, correct? That's not really drawn that way on here, but.
Correct.
And hopefully we'll be able to just drain onto the existing roof so that we can build basically the addition and then just do the connecting link between the two.
I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest if you're higher than the existing roof to gutter it and do it.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be a troubled valley for you, down the road. So.
Yeah.
We're waiting for a topographic survey, but the site slopes.
Mhm.
So we're anticipating that the garage will actually be more in line with the existing home, although possibly
I got you.
up to 8 inches lower. So the 3 different roofs allows us to adjust for the topography of the site.
Does anybody, any commissioners have any issue with the way it's drawn right now?
We're also trying to
Hang on.
match all of the existing bricks.
Carla, hang on a second. Carla,
Yeah.
hang on a second. Does any of the commissioners have a problem with the way it's drawn right now?
No?
No.
Huh.
Okay.
I think
So-
it looks a little wonky to me, but it's not fatal.
Okay. Well, it's also, I think you're suggesting too, Carla, that that top thing might actually be a little higher than what's drawn right now.
It may actually end up being 12 feet high on the sidewalls.
So you're saying that might be, is that another foot or two, or just another foot and a half?
Well, it's drawn at 10-10,
All right,
so it'd be another 1'2".
Okay. Well, that might help it separate itself from that situation.
Yeah,
Correct?
this is actually the worst, I mean, the side elevation.
Yeah, I know, it's not the, right.
Yeah, it's not the, this is the alley elevation. So working on this detail right here, where the new family room meets the garage.
Correct.
Yeah. We are also proposing remodeling the existing bathroom, which occurs right here on the west elevation. It would require us to infill this window with brick matching the existing.
Yeah, I would like you
And
to
this is the Monticello Street elevation.
use some of the old brick from the side you're tearing off, so.
Yes.
All right, somebody want to make a motion?
Sure, I move that the certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2020-041A at 8501 Monticello as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. All right, Carla, yeah,
Thank
you might,
you.
you might
Thank
still
you.
have to work out those you might still have to work out those details with the building department on the roof stuff, so. Okay, thank you. You guys are free to jump
Okay.
off.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Case number 2019, we're going back in time, dash 025A at 4001 Davis Street. It's a residential first and second floor addition. Staff comments are, the original addition design received a certificate of appropriateness in July of 2019, which is, we know, over a year ago. Changes have been made to the original approval. Therefore, the new design is returning tonight for a review and approval of the revisions. Staff has no objections with the new design, as it is similar in concept to the original design. Technical items to be addressed include compliance with ComEd and other electrical regulations, including a letter from ComEd regarding expectations of the building design details and working near the adjacent overhead power lines, and a PIN consolidation request has been submitted to Cook County. Who are the petitioners?
Right here.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Question for you, has this work taken place already?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's a good answer. All right, let's see what you want to do.
So this is the existing, the existing house.
Correct.
That's the front elevation.
So tell us what's old and what's new. What was approved and what are you changing?
Go ahead.
That's for you guys.
So the, if you can follow our mouse here, the portion on the east here, this existing brick two-story volume, is part of the existing split level. Yep, exactly. And then starting with this taller brick volume and moving westward, this will all be new. So there's an existing one-story volume with a single-car garage. That would be demolished, and then making room for that two-story addition.
You know what, I'm sorry, sir, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
I'm more concerned about what was approved, what's different from what was approved.
Oh, I think what we did is this, to avoid the ComEd line, we changed the design on the west side, correct?
Yeah.
So we
Matching
made the
this.
indentation to avoid having to relocate the pole of the ComEd line.
Okay, and is that all we did differently?
From a massing standpoint, yes.
Okay, but
We
as we
looked a
look,
little bit at some of the,
as we look at it, all the materials and the basic design are the same,
Correct.
yeah.
and you're
There
under
have
oath.
been slight tweaks with a little bit of that, but, minor. The big massing thing was setting that second story back to get clearance for the power lines.
So basically, you just knocked out that upper right-hand corner.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I think that looks cool.
Yeah, does anybody have any issues with it?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember this case. It was.
I do too.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big house there.
All right. Julie, fire away.
Okay, I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2019-025A at 4001 Davis, as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so pass. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much.
All right. We're gonna move into New England Village, case 2020-043A at 5 Salem Circle, a first floor addition. The staff comments are the most brief of all the comments. Well, maybe not. But staff has no objections to the overall design. Technical items to include providing a plat of survey prior to the review of the building permit plans by staff. So who's the petitioner?
Right here.
We are,
Oh, hello, how are you? Raise your right arm, hands. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
yes,
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I think we saw this. This is just a garage addition, basically, right?
Yes, we currently have a one car that's attached to the house, but there's no entrance into the house. So we would demolish the one car, push back the garage, and make it a two-car garage.
And who's gonna be the one tasked with parking on an angle like that? Which one of you two?
Coin flip.
I see an argument.
it's a good idea. It's a great idea.
Okay, that's cool. And you're matching the same materials and, okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes.
Awesome. This is pretty easy. Mary Jane, you want to make a motion?
Sure. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted to case 2020-043A at 5 Salem as presented.
Anybody
Second.
second? All in favor?
To say by Salem Circle.
Yes. 5 Salem Circle. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so pass. Okay, good luck. Don't forget to turn in your plat.
Thank
job.
you.
Okay, now we're gonna move into non-residential requests. We're gonna go to case number 2020-016A, case we've seen a couple times, 7135 Carpenter Road. It's a new construction, and it was continued from September 9th. The staff comments are this revised design is an improvement to the previous design reviewed in August 2020. Technical item to be addressed includes a pin consolidation.
Hi, Mark Goshan on behalf of the petitioner HTC. I'm going to turn this over to Mark Amstadter very quick, but always a pleasure to be here at Skokie on a project. And on this one, we really appreciate the comments at the last meeting. We took them to heart. What was said, client went to a lot of efforts to address them. You'll see a smaller building, a significant reduction in height from 43 feet to 30 feet, a more solid, standard, conventional structure as opposed to the prior one, but retaining that limestone look on the bottom of it, which we think really ties into the other buildings in that area. And also a smaller building footprint. So still, hopefully I'm happy to go back over them again, but still all the great reasons why we think this is a great use at any time and an even better use now when we want to make sure our people have the opportunity to get out and get exercise during COVID, et cetera. But honestly, really just an important part for their structure and also a great location for it because of the coverage. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mark Amstadter, who will walk through the presentation.
Okay, Mark, before you do that, both Marks raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm?
Raise my right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great, thank you. All right, Mark number 2, you can proceed.
Carrie, you want to move the slides through?
Yes.
She will.
Thank you. Just a quick review. This is the campus of HTC. We are locating the basketball enclosure behind the main sanctuary building at the far southeast corner of the site. As you will see, in that location, it's highly screened. We did it to maintain the existing ballpark and fields that are up behind the dormitory classroom building, so that this is sort of out of the way. We will be improving the landscape buffer between this site and the adjoining residential. That is already well screened, but we will be improving that as well. In the renderings, you will see photographs of the site in their actual context as we go through it, and you take a look at here's the floor plan of the building. You can see what we're talking about is one competition basketball court. There will be 2 practice courts that go in the
Perpendicular direction.
east-west direction, perpendicular to the competition court. The remainder of the building is simply storage, physical support, HVAC, fire protection. We changed the building from that fabric-covered metal frame, which, because of its nature, required extreme height, to a prefabricated steel frame, conventional steel framing with metal siding. Per your conversation with us, the base of the building sort of shows as masonry here. I'm sorry, I don't have a good ashlar pattern to show you, but in the rendering you'll see that. The main point here is that we brought the building down to completely comply with the existing zoning. We're at 30 feet with the high point of the building. And on the east and west elevations of the building, we'll have a clear story of translucent panels to bring natural daylight into the space. There's not a lot of other fenestration. There's an entrance, there's some exit doors, there's an overhead door for getting bigger things into the space. If you go to the next slide, we'll show you the ashlar. This is a material that's on site. This is actually a photograph that we took of the existing limestone, and we will be mimicking that in a concrete poured stained wall that is the base of the building, so that in the low area where kids are playing, they'll be able to put pads on the walls. It'll sustain the kind of abuse that this kind of a structure will get. Above that, it's an insulated metal panel building. Go to the next slide. And this is what it would look like on the inside. This is a smaller version, but not that much smaller. We're looking to do something a little bit bigger than this one. Our width is a little bit bigger, our length is a little longer.
Sure.
We're only 10,000 square feet, but this is about 6,000 square
Sure.
feet. But it's very similar to what we're doing.
Cool. Carrie, go back to the elevations real quick. First of all, I'll say that this is a great improvement. So thank you very much for being patient with us.
Yes.
We understood it. I mean, we were looking for what was going to be really an enclosure, the fabric covered frame. You know, it was all about cost and timeliness.
Completely understood.
We went to great effort to find a way to do this and maintain an economics that the school could live with. We're going to be spending more money to do this.
Sure.
But we understood what you wanted, and we wanted to respond accordingly.
My only comment or question, and this, you'd be free to just say, no, we don't want to do it, would be on your clear stories, you know, maybe do it on the north and south, but you know, or maybe not the north, but the south, you know, I mean, you'll get more.
Well, do it by the east and west, we get most of the light, and it's translucent panels, not clear glass.
Okay.
It's really there just to make sure that we don't have to do a lot of artificial lighting. If I put it on the south wall, really it's not going to be seen by anybody, but it also is going to be an air conditioning load issue.
I just meant for better daylight.
Agreed. I wouldn't do it there.
But that's okay. It looks fine to me. Anybody else have a comment?
Go take a look at the rendering. We did a nice job with the rendering.
Great.
All right, well, no. We got to look at the rendering.
There you go. Come on. I mean,
you guys don't know that we get previews of these, so we all really have seen it. But the rendering is nice.
Yeah, it really does now fit with the site and the building. If you look over onto the HTC's campus, that lower section's the same ashlar as this. They're the same ashlar panels all along. And we'll be looking to work on a color that really, a putty color that meets exactly the contrast. When you look at it from Carpenter Street,
Right.
now zoom in on that, this is not a phony picture. I took this in August,
Right.
and that's the tree, and that's the height of the building
Right.
behind. It pretty much disappears.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, and that's.
Yeah, in the winter when the leaves are off, you'll see a little bit more of it, but not a lot.
Right, and as you guys know, that was our main concern too, so, aside from the construction.
You know, I actually stood out in traffic to take that picture. It took my life in my hands 3 feet.
All right, in the interest of time, does somebody want to make a motion?
There,
Julie?
Somebody.
Tom?
That's the case. I don't have
Shauna?
the number. Darn it.
16A,
And this is 2020.
Yes.
correct.
Okay, a certificate, move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2020-16A at, oh gosh,
7135 Carpenter.
7135.
701.
7135.
7135.
Sorry, I don't have the paper. 7135 Carpenter Road.
Carpenter Road.
That's presented.
As presented. Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
The ayes have it, so passed. Mark and Mark, thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you, we really appreciate
We're
it.
happy to come back. We really appreciate it.
Sure, good
You
luck.
guys did a very nice
great.
job. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
All
you.
right. Case number 2020-042A, 7800 Austin Avenue for Castwell Products LLC, new construction. The comments are, staff has no objections with the design. Is the petitioner on?
Mark number 3 is on.
Another Mark. Mark, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great. Let's proceed. Let's look at this architectural gem of an industrial building.
So for context, this is the site plan,
I'm being
the
facetious.
track for Niles West. Oakton is here, railroad tracks and Austin Avenue for context. Here it is in black and white. So the building will be on the west side of Austin, just behind the, I guess, the new bus barn, or former Menards,
Right.
for this school. And here's the, and it's so small, you can barely see it. I'll zoom. The building's too big, it won't fit on the screen.
Yeah.
The east is the front.
Yeah, so this is the color palette. And then this is the elevation facing Austin, or future Austin. And this would be the part facing the railroad tracks.
Mark, are those color differentiators, are those, is that paint or is that in the precast itself? That's all?
That's paint.
Paint, okay.
Yeah, the precast will go up first and then it will be painted later. Yes.
I don't mind it at all, because it's, nobody sees it except a few people. But, you know, in my opinion, I could say you could almost get rid of the white, unless you feel you need to have the white. I don't know what.
You know, we just like it for a little bit of contrast, but we're not really that.
I like it with the white.
Okay. Anybody else have any other comments?
What are those little square panels? Are those windows or are those painted? Those little small, high?
These here?
Those are, we call clear story. They're actual windows. So
They actually
they
open?
light. No. But they allow the light
Just for natural light.
into the building.
They are windows. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody have any,
Well, I reviewed the landscape plan, and it really is a very nice plan along Austin Avenue. A lot of good trees.
all right, well, with that, Mary Jane, I'm gonna let you make the motion.
Okay. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted to case number 2020-042A at 7800 Austin as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. All right, Mark, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Yes,
take care.
Thank you.
You too.
And meeting is adjourned at 8:22 PM. We'll see you all
job.
next month. Thank you.
Nice job, Mike.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
No, it's not me, it's Carrie.
Hi, kids.
Thank Carrie. Carrie does all the hard work.
Okay. Okay, switch. That's the magic.